Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here, and we are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Saturday, March 26th slate of NBA and college basketball games. I'm super excited to hop into it. We had another fantastic day of basketball, man. We just get so spoiled in the month of March. I mean, obviously the March Madness tournament. We still have NBA games going on, and March is just a fantastic time for sports in general, and especially basketball. So you can never go wrong with March. But before we dive into the picks, I did just want to go ahead and say, at the time of recording this video, we're less than 50 subscribers away from 6,000. And once we do end up hitting that, we will be doing a parlay. I do want to be able to hit 6,000 by the end of March, so that is kind of my goal. So if you guys are new, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. I do put out these videos every single day. So, you know, if you guys do want to know what my picks are, make sure you guys are sub. Make sure you guys check out the videos, man. But next, I just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do, and thank you so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance. As I always say, it truly does mean so much to me. You know, the members are really what keeps me going, and obviously all of you guys. So thank you guys so much for everything. But let's go ahead and do a quick recap as of yesterday. We ended up going 2-2 on the day. So we did end up losing just a little bit of money there, but I truly, if I were to go back and redo all of these picks, I think that we truly made the right picks. And let me just let me just explain real quick. So we did have Terry Rozier under 4.5 rebounds versus Utah. That game, oh my lord, Terry Rozier grabbed 4 rebounds in the first half, ends up cashing it for us. I don't know if he just decided, hey, I don't want to get any more rebounds for the rest of the game or what happened, but the whole second half, he didn't grab a single rebound. We ended up winning on that one. Then we had Luka over 8.5 assists versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. And he gets his 8th assist, and immediately after that, coach calls timeout and takes him out because they're getting blown out by the Timberwolves. I mean, that part's just so annoying. The fact that the coach literally called the timeout, pulled him just shy of hitting the over, so he finishes right on the hook. And I'm just so sick of the blowouts in the NBA. I'm got to be completely honest here. But then we had Detroit minus 2.5. Note to self: never take Detroit when they're a favorite anymore. Learned that lesson the hard way, despite them having a pretty good record as like a home favorite. Not taking this ever again. Bad play. But then we had UNC +2 versus UCLA. That one ended up working out. Caleb freaking Love, huge shots down the stretch. I mean, he had 2 or 3 like insanely good threes, and it was truly a masterpiece to watch. Caleb Love really took over that game and won it for him. So they ended up beating UCLA by like 6 or 8 or something. Great game. And like I said, remember the name, Caleb Love. Dude is absolutely disgusting. Some of the shots that he hit, I was like, I had my jaw like on the floor. So it was a great game to watch overall. But let's go ahead and dive into today's plays. So first play of the day, we're going to be taking in the early game. For me, it's going to be a 2-unit play. I love this play. I almost made it game of the year, and I'll explain why I didn't towards the end. So we're going to be taking New Orleans Pelicans -5 versus the San Antonio Spurs at -110 odds. Now, the New Orleans Pelicans, they have covered in 5 of their last 6 games. So they've been a very good basketball team here recently. And these two teams did match up around like a week ago or maybe 2 weeks ago. And New Orleans ended up winning by 33 points. Like, it wasn't even close. Also, as a home favorite this year, which obviously they are in this situation, they are 8-3-1 against the spread. So really good as a home favorite. They really love to show out in front of their home crowd. As a favorite this year in general, they are 11-6-1 against the spread, and almost all of those games have been with CJ McCollum on the floor ever since the trade. So he has been just a fantastic asset for this New Orleans Pelicans team. I really love the CJ acquisition, I got to be completely honest. And the Spurs, they have covered in 2 straight games. They've been a pretty decent team, to be completely honest. But if you look at it prior to that, they have only covered in 2 of their last 6 games and 4 of their last 12. So I think that we do see a little bit of value here. I know that the Spurs have been hot the last 2 games, but I think they definitely turn it around here. And if you look at it, I do think New Orleans has a little bit more to play for. They are tied for ninth as of right now in the Western Conference, and the Spurs, they are 11th in the conference. Now, obviously, the Pelicans, they did end up making the CJ McCollum trade to actually try to make some noise in the playoffs, maybe end up winning the play-in tournament, or potentially even making a super late run to try to get into the actual playoffs themselves. So I don't think they're not looking to lose. Whereas the Spurs, I think that they are going to try to get another high draft pick and then try to make some noise next year. But this is just not the year for it. So I do think that the Spurs are in a little bit more of a lackluster mode as opposed to the New Orleans Pelicans, who are trying to still make some noise in the playoffs. Now, the only reason I didn't make this game of the year is because it does look like Brandon Ingram is still listed as questionable at the time of recording this video anyway. So if he is listed as questionable and he doesn't play, I still love the play, and I still think that they win and cover. But without Brandon Ingram, that is a pretty big loss. So that is going to be the first play of the day. New Orleans -5 versus San Antonio Spurs in the early game at -110 odds. Our second play of the day, we're going to be taking Darius Garland over 23.5 points here versus my Chicago Bulls at -125 odds. Now, Darius Garland's been a stud recently, and I don't think I really need to tell you guys that. He's been an absolute monster. He has covered this exact line in 6 of his last 8 games. And versus Chicago this year, these two teams have squared off 3 times already, and he's hit the over in 2 of them. And the one that he didn't, he did have 20. He did have 20, so he finished pretty close to it. He just didn't have the best shooting night. So, covering 2 of the 3 times this year, I think that's a lot of value there. And the Bulls, they do allow the 3rd most points per game to opposing point guards in their last 7 games. They haven't been the best defensive team. It's very tough to watch as a Bulls fan, but, it is what it is. And the Bulls, in their last 3 games, they have allowed the 10th most points per game to opposing teams in general. And if you look at it, if you look at recent point guards, their game logs versus the Chicago Bulls, you have Devontae Graham, who dropped 30. You have Drew Holiday, who dropped 27, and he's not really super known for his scoring, but he dropped 27. And then Fred VanVleet, he only had 19, but he saw 22 shot attempts. So he just had a really tough shooting night. So I think that if Darius Garland does get his usual shot attempts, he should be hitting this over pretty easily. And it is a pick'em game, so hopefully there is no blowout in this game whatsoever. Now, that is going to be the only 2 NBA plays as of right now. I will be adding one more than likely, so make sure you guys are following me on Twitter and check the pinned comment section down below before the games start. But there won't be one in the early game. It'll just be for the night slate of games. So we're going to go ahead and do our college play of the day. We're going to be taking Houston -2.5 versus Villanova at -110 odds. Now, Houston has been an absolutely fantastic team. They have covered in 6 straight games, and they have covered in 10 of their last 11. So they have been just truly fantastic, to say the least. And in the tournament this year, they have played 3 games, and they have gotten double-digit wins in all of them, and it's been against pretty decent opponents. It's been against UAB, Illinois, and Arizona, all pretty decent teams there, and they've won by double-digit in all 3. Houston is 9-1 against the spread in neutral site games, and with 1 day off, Houston is 3-0 against the spread. So I really like this play here, and following a win, they are 21-9 against the spread. Now, Villanova hasn't been an underdog very often this year, only 5 times, but anytime that they are an underdog, a lot of times they don't like to cover. They're just 1-3-1 against the spread as an underdog. And the way that Villanova plays, they do play as sort of like a 5-out team, which I do think plays in Houston's favor because Houston is a very athletic, long defensive team. And so that is going to make it very tough for this Villanova team to score. So I really like Houston here. We're going to be taking it. Houston -2.5 versus Nova at -110 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we're less than 50 subs away from 6,000, and I can't hit that mark without your guys' help. So make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. But for now, this is King Sander signing out. Peace.